4, 3, 2, 1. BlogTalk Radio.
When you need help or advice, you turn to your parents or a trusted friend for help. So why go outside of Virginia, your home, when you need car insurance? Able Insurance gives you individual attention and won't turn you away no matter what your driving record looks like. Giving same-day personal service in the state of Virginia for over 30 years. Able Insurance, 979-0814 is the number. AbleInsurance.com is the site.
Yo, what up, though? Welcome to the BallHawk Show podcast. I'm your host, Amon Hawkins. On this Monday, you know, on Mondays, man, we do live shows. So this is not recorded. This is live. This is the call-in show. The number is 760-695-1106. I'll put it in both YouTube and Facebook. So we streaming live as well. So if you're tuning in, you can call in and you be the analyst and speak your truth, man. Of course, I always create topics, but we can always go left if we have to and talk about other sporting topics or other topics that you guys feel like need to be addressed. But yeah, why does the stream seem like the Facebook stream seem like it's not good right now? But yeah, so that's what we're doing, man. So, you know, wait for the analyst to call up and we're going to chop it up. We're going to get into it. Shout out to the sponsor, Able Insurance. Of course, go to sthujuice.com and get your Shut the Hell Up Juice apparel. Definitely appreciate everybody that's been supporting the movement for all these years. So, yeah, man, hopefully everybody had a good weekend, time with family, and hopefully you enjoyed the games, man. And, yeah. Oh, yeah, Quentin, we definitely start our own Facebook group. That's an inside joke. Y'all don't know what we talking about. But look like Darian calling in right now. What's good with you, Darian?
How do you think I feel?
I mean, you know, I gotta get the pleasantries out the way.
I feel like all those battlers that got bodied over this last card. Yeah, that's how I feel.
Don't
talk my way into a home.
Yeah. I mean, you know, just don't come here, you know, acting like Key Sweat. Don't be whining, which you're not, you know. So that's not in your DNA.
You know me. I can take it.
Yeah, I know.
But I know who's not gonna dodge this smoke though. We can go ahead and get that started. Hey man, tired of y'all San Fran folks talking about Jimmy G. Let's get something straight about Jimmy G, all right?
Okay.
Jimmy G almost cost y'all the game.
Okay, talk about it.
If you want to really be real about it, soon as your boys started throwing the ball, we started keying in on them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Started picking them off. After that first pick, they started, you know, offensive line decided want to turn up. They started beating us in the trenches.
Yeah.
That's what ended up happening with us.
So,
but for everybody just trying to make it seem like, oh, well, Jimmy G, you know, if the running game is working, Jimmy G, I'm like, yo, did y'all watch the first half of the game? It seems like nobody watches the first half of the game anymore. Like, it's a whole game that happened. There are adjustments that are made. Mm-hmm. You saw your boy Witherspoon get cooked to a crisp to the bench.
Yeah.
Like, their depth, I underestimated how deep the team actually is. And then nobody told me Quan Alexander was coming, bro. Nobody told me he was coming.
Oh, word?
There where Cook went, that boy was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I take my lumps like a champ, man. I ain't dealing, you know.
609-379, you off mute, fam. What's good with you?
At least we're not Houston.
What's up, players? Blaze.
Blaze, what's good with you? Hey, Terrence, man, just call the number, fam, 760-695-1106. But yeah, look, so I put a post on Facebook during the game, and I said, you know, Kyle Shanahan has demonstrated that he has learned from his Super Bowl shortcomings as far as adjusting his play calling and playing towards the strength or understanding the situation. All right, so to speak to your point about Jimmy G was struggling. Like, he started off good, you know, hitting pass across the middle. His receivers were making great catches when he was getting hit. Emmanuel Sanders getting open as he always does. But at the same time,
I mean, was it really though?
Hold on. hold on. I'm about to tell the fans. So for all the fans who, like fans, you can't pick and choose when a quarterback is rewarded where they win. Jimmy G threw 19 passes, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. We gotta stop.
I've been not sold on Jimmy G.
Yeah,
bro.
we gotta stop because at the same time, that was Kyle Shanahan understanding that Jimmy G, put like this, the front line and Jimmy G was struggling because they was getting to him. You feel me? So
Kyle Shanahan played a beautiful game, bro.
Yeah, man. He ran the ball 13 straight times after that interception, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
Tore the up.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
I'm just really here talking about that bad man Derrick Henry. That's all I'm really here for.
Oh yeah, we
and then here's the other thing too.
5-4
Here's the other thing
mute.
too. I want that same energy. Y'all was giving Lamar Jackson about him throwing between 100 and 200 yards that y'all giving Jimmy G. I want that same energy.
They're not gonna do that.
Clearly, y'all give him all that trash.
How many passes Jimmy G have dropped?
This game, I think he might have had 1 this game. I mean, he has in the season, but I see what you're saying.
I'm talking about over the season. Everybody kill Lamar because he has a short field. Old boy does not throw over 20 yards at any time in the game. Oh, Jimmy G. So I just want people to just be realistic. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to talk about Jimmy G being Tom Brady. I'm just saying.
You know, you get what you get. We all know what Lamar is. Lamar is going to dice you in the short game, or he's going to run out on you and take off. Jimmy, we know Jimmy is supposed to be this pure Tom Brady protege, where he's supposed to be dissecting the field, supposed to be one of the next great ones. Then he's looking a little short in that category.
Exactly.
Well, you know, the narrative has been
we already, when Lamar came into the league, we expected him, motherfuckers were telling him to be a wide receiver.
That's facts.
Yeah.
You feel me? So that's why I don't personally compare them to, because we get more out of Lamar than we were supposed to be expecting, whereas Jimmy getting all this stuff that he's Tom Brady protege.
How much is his contract? How much is his contract again?
Jimmy G got over $100 million, of course.
Okay. Y'all paid him $100 million to throw for 131 yards.
You got a good player.
I just want to know. I'm just asking. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Darian.
Go ahead, JaVale. What up, JaVale?
Hey, what's up? Hey, Darian, want to say congrats to your Gators, man. But we did kind of play. We fell a little short, but definitely a good game that way. But as far as I mean,
no, go ahead. I'm not going to talk. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, because last time I spoke with you, you act like y'all were just going, you know what I'm saying, hand it to us like, you know what I'm saying, like it wasn't even going to be a competitive game. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good.
I mean, if you want to be real about it, you only got 50% of the effort from the Gators. If you really want to be real about it. But I don't want to go there. You know what I'm saying? I want to stay on the show. I don't want to get muted. I don't want to get muted. You know what I'm saying?
No. Hey, speak your piece, player. I ain't catching no feelings. Go ahead, get him. He came at you. He came at you, Darren.
You got cats getting ready for the NFL next year, bro. I'm just telling you.
I feel you.
You know.
Yeah, but as far as Lamar and the Ravens, man, I just that was my only gripe, you know, that I felt the Ravens would have an issue if they were to go down 10+ points, because that RPO action, you know what I'm saying, teams they don't respect it. You know what I'm saying? Because the Ravens, with not being able to just, you know, Lamar being able to drop back and just pick you apart, you know, in the passing game, you know, it was almost a benefit, you know what I'm saying, to the Titans, you know, because they just look like they were, I don't know if Ingram being out really, you know what I'm saying, changed the game plan.
Yeah, he's a starter.
And the play calling, but
it definitely had an effect on it.
Yeah, but I mean the other two backs, you know what I'm saying? They got a lot of burn throughout the season though. It was like they just went away from the game plan, like they got scared almost. You know what I'm saying? Because they hadn't trailed since what, week 3 against Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it was back in September before they was, you know what I'm saying, down and had to come back. But they just look like, you know, when they gotta play from behind, they had totally different offense, man.
Yeah, I agree with that. Hey, Banks, you on right now?
It's easy to put.
Yeah, I'm on.
All right, my dog Banks on. So go ahead, Blaze.
I'm just saying, with the way that they play, it's easy to play how they play from in front. It's a good front running team, but when you predominantly run the ball and you behind, you can't really run the ball like that because you're killing time.
Yeah, man. And
I got a question.
You getting into something. So with the Ravens is, so with anybody you scout, you try to get them in a situation in which they weren't comfortable in doing or they wasn't used to doing. So the Ravens never really had to rely on the passing game, and that's not a knock on Lamar, but how they are built. You can see that they rely on their tight ends, and if you're trying to, you know, use the RPO and now you're behind, it's easy to just take away the middle of the field and force you to make sideline throws, make those receivers understand how to run routes and get themselves enough room to not trap themselves with the sideline and allow DBs to undercut. So you saw the Titans go to zone and take away the middle of the field every chance they got. Now, I do want to say this about Lamar. Lamar is not your typical running quarterback. He will stand in the pocket as long as he has time, and he demonstrated that. And that's one thing I think people are so caught up in trying to set up his fan base and the hype around him is that when you look at that game, dog, he stood in the pocket. You can say what you want about somebody being a running quarterback. That kid is a quarterback. I don't care how the ball is. People talking about he was throwing wobbly balls. Peyton Manning threw wobbly balls all the time. You feel me? Like, we got to chill out. We got to chill out. The narrative is this. He's not as good throwing outside the numbers because he can't anticipate the throws like he does to his strong suit, which is throwing in the middle field, because when you run RPO, you have to master throwing to the middle hashes. Like, that's just what you have to do. So, yeah, good luck. You know, good job by the Titans overall. Go ahead.
I got a good question. How does that offense look with the actual big physical receiver, like a true number one? Say somebody like a Metcalf, or somebody that can get you a lot of yak like Deebo Samuel, or some of the guys that they passed up and took Hollywood instead. Because as fast as Hollywood is, I don't think Hollywood is ready for that type of heat yet.
Go ahead. Who was about to say something?
I got something to say about that. This is Banks. Basically, me personally, I'm a Seahawks fan. So from looking at that offense, if they had somebody like Metcalf in there, he would literally be limited to a one-dimensional type of style of play. Meaning that Lamar it'd be predicated based upon the play action, a lot of fly routes, a lot of posts, but it wouldn't be the full route tree because that's not really based upon the way Greg Roman structured that offense. He doesn't make it a true number one receiver. If you go back and look at the numbers that Michael Crabtree had when he was with Cap, and the way Greg Roman catered the offense, Crabtree caught a lot of deep crosses, a lot of chain moving type of plays. It's not really predicated and built for a style of play for a true number one. It's built to get everybody involved in the offense. And as you can see, Hollywood, he still got kind of a lot of scat receiver in him. If you look at it the way Lincoln Riley called the offense in Oklahoma, it's a lot of big play. He's a big play type of receiver. He's not a chain mover. They don't really have that true number one possession chain mover over there. They can consistently get them the tough first downs and the yards they need. And that's why they solely rely on Andrews across the field as a Kittle or a Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Okay, so Banks, what would you say? What would you say in the offseason if they were to go after somebody like, say, Antonio Brown and put him in that offense next year?
I think Antonio Brown will be extremely frustrated in that offense because Antonio Brown is used to a pro-style conventional offense. Yeah. Somebody who can who's going to drop back, make three-step reads, somebody who's going to make quick throws, and see Antonio Brown is a receiver who can run the full route tree. So he's looking for somebody. He's looking for 13, 14 targets a game to get him involved in that type of offense. And that's not what the Ravens style of offense is built around. They're going to run it down your throat.
So what about a guy like, say, Justin Jefferson or a guy like T. Higgins, who are kind of like big guys?
Yep.
Who do have speed, but they also, you know what I'm saying, they're good for fire spots in the zone.
Yeah.
They're just there to move the chains. They're big enough to pretty much cover your margin of error, basically.
Yeah, no, that's a good.
You know
now,
I can see Devontae Adams.
I can see T. Higgins as a good fit because of the catch radius, because he's used to the RPO system, he's used to the bang eights. Like he fits.
You know what I'm saying?
Shucks, my fault.
I can see T. Higgins as a good fit because of the catch radius.
Like an AJ Brown, a lot of like for Tannehill, like he got his receivers are like 6 foot and above. He ain't got no small receivers. So their catch radius is pretty, you know what I'm saying?
And that's why that's perfect. And that's why that's perfect. Like honestly, I really do, and I agree with Hawk. Like I think Higgins would be great over there because if you look at the way Dabo recruit, I mean that's what he do. Dabo gets elite pass catching receivers from dating all the way back to Martavius Bryant to Sammy Watkins to DeAndre Hopkins. These boys solidified pass catchers that can run complete good routes. And if you look at the way Trevor Lawrence, the way he facilitated and run the offense over there, that's exactly what they're doing. They're doing similarities to what the game is being played at now in Baltimore. They're doing those type of things. And you know, because at the end of the day, man, we're getting the NFL is getting away from the pro style conventional West Coast offense, and they're making the game around. This narrative about a specific quarterback and how a quarterback has to play the game, it needs to die out. The game is evolving because offensive coordinators and head coaches are now catering to the skill set, the full spectrum of what a quarterback can bring to the table and what they can do. It's not about being cerebral, 3-step drop, running post off. It's about, I want to be able to use everything about you as a quarterback and all the special intangibles that you have as your skill set on the field in full display in any given time in an arsenal and offense. That's what it's about.
And you know what's crazy about that too? As a quarterback now, you have to be able to move. Especially when you have defensive linemen that are about 6'5", run between 4'5" and 4'4". You know what I'm saying? Like guys that can really move, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard to have somebody that just stands in the pocket because we're starting to find out in these playoffs, like a good O-line is a luxury. It's not a promise for you to even get a good O-line because, you know, nowadays you can't really even practice anymore. It's about all snap count.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, as an O-line, you got to work as a cohesive unit. You know what I'm saying? And you start to see like guys like San Francisco, them guys been around each other forever. Like forever have been around each other. You know what I'm saying? You got guys like with Philadelphia. Philadelphia's offensive line's been around each other forever. When you got these other cats that are just coming in who seem like they were good prospects, but they falling apart because they don't have that cohesion like you used to. So you have to have somebody that can get loose on you. Or you should at least have somebody that can be mobile. You don't have to be necessarily as fast as Lamar Jackson, but somebody that can move like a Deshaun Watson that can create with his legs while in his arms nowadays.
Of course. I mean, look at Josh Allen. I mean, you got these white quarterbacks like Josh Allen, and even I was surprised about David Jones. These guys still can run 4.6, 4.7. So even in situations, you see offensive play callers, offensive coordinators are starting to have these guys do quarterback draws with running backs and fullbacks leading through the hole now just to get tough yardage.
Yep.
So it's not just about the black quarterback as far as he being black quarterbacks are revolutionizing the game as far as adding in read option or having the part where, you know, they step in as traditional dropbacks. But it's happening all across. What do you think Trevor Lawrence is going to do once he gets the lead? Do you think Trevor Lawrence is going to be that's what I'm saying. They're going to use his full skill set. You know what I mean? So it really, to be honest with you, that's what they really want to do with Baker Mayfield. But they're not as a read option. But Baker still has more about his skill set that he's not being fully utilized over there in Cleveland that he's capable of doing.
Hey, but
Baker's not fast
the
enough.
thing about I think Baker's quick enough, but the thing about it is that I think T just hit on is that they're not utilizing Baker's talents because they're trying to put him in the box like he's a drop back guy. He's not a classic drop back guy.
No,
he's a guy you want to move around in the pocket and use half sprint outs and half boots and things like that because he's not as tall as people think, and he's naturally a guy that wants to throw in the move because he has a big live arm. So that's up to the coaching staff. Like, as a coach, man, you always got to utilize the talents of your players, and your playbook has to be very fluid. And I get tired of these coordinators that just have their quarterback set in their mind, and whatever quarterback they get, they're like, yo, you have to be like this. And it shouldn't, and it's not that, because the Josh Allens of the world get praised for being able to run because they're seen as your traditional drop back guys. And then you got a guy like Lamar who has the classical drop back tendencies because, look, man, I told people this when he was at Louisville. When he played against UVA here at Scott Stadium, we didn't blitz him, and he showed me he wasn't a scrambler because he didn't try to tuck. He went through his progressions, and he stayed tall, and he extended the pocket with his legs to generate big plays. A non-natural throwing quarterback will go first read and then taking off. Or if it's any pressure, they're going out the back end. Your traditional quarterback is going to climb the pocket and pressure the A-gap, get the backer to step up, and then throw over top of you. That shows me you're a comfortable pocket passing quarterback.
But see, Hawk, that's the thing, though. Hawk, I think that's the thing that that people don't give Lamar Jackson credit for. They don't understand. They don't look at the history of this kid. This kid was with Bobby Petrino, who has always groomed and grown quarterbacks throughout the length of his professional, from the college or either to the NFL career. That's what he specializes in. So he taught Lamar a lot as far as the QB position. I think because the fact that he runs a 4.3 and the fact that his arm is not the way the people is not as his throwing mechanism and his throwing mechanics are. They don't want to give him credit the fact that he can't read defense or he wasn't taught or prepped well to be at the NFL level. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's what people don't understand. Bob Petrino taught that boy really well before he got to the league in the 3 years that he was at Louisville.
Bobby Petrino runs a pro-style offense.
Agreed.
Exactly. So this is why I don't understand why it was such a big deal. They were talking about him understanding offenses. That was a fake narrative because of the fact that Bobby Petrino runs a pro-style offense.
Yeah.
And then you got to watch him, unless you're really watching him, outside of the great run plays, like he didn't have a lot around him. Like he almost beat Clemson with these guys. You know what I'm saying?
The kid is a natural leader, man. He's a natural leader. He's a student of the game. He can absorb information and process it quickly into where it would translate on game day. Like as much as everybody and we're gonna move to the next game. As much as the narrative was put out, because when people put out his numbers as far as like the rushing yards and then the passing yards, and a lot of folks want to be like, a lot of those pass yards came in garbage time because Tennessee started playing prevent. Sometimes, man, folks make up these sayings, and it's almost like they put themselves in their own box. Like either you want somebody to compete to the end, or you just want somebody to concede defeat. Because when somebody say garbage time, it's like, I'm not going to fault somebody for fighting to the end. You can say garbage time all you want, but that's showing me that they're going to still try to go out there and get it. And the game is not we can't praise somebody for coming back on one hand and then saying garbage time on the second. But we know now somebody down by 35 with 5 minutes left and they get additional 100 yards.
And Redskins.
You know what I'm saying? They get an additional 100 yards, and that last 100 yards to put them over 300. Okay. The game was out of hand, but Lamar was still fighting because when they actually scored and they had to go for that 2-point conversion to try to get it to 14 or whatever, like it's still feasible that they can get a 3 and out because Tannehill's still on the other side.
So what was Deshaun Watson doing? Deshaun Watson must have been, if you want to keep that same narrative, Deshaun Watson must have been in garbage time too. Because I know for sure they were still fighting to stay in.
Hey man,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean that's a great segue. We can go to that. We can go to that game next if you want. That's a great segue. Go ahead.
One thing I did see that, and I was surprised that more defenses didn't do it this year. That Vrabel he didn't do it as much as the Chargers did last year, but he kind of played that same umbrella type defense and bringing in, you know what I'm saying, 2-3 extra DBs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, playing a lot of dime, a lot of nickel. You know what I'm saying, when they got behind. And I think that was the big part of the game, and that's where they missed Ingram the most. Because
that's a great point.
I feel that the teams didn't do that. They didn't put those extra DBs out there because Ingram is that battering ram, and you know what I'm saying? He kind of in that mold with Henry, like they physical, you know what I'm saying, pounding type runners, and that whole, especially that second half, they played almost that exact defense that the Chargers played in that playoff game against them last year.
No, that's a great point.
Let me tell you about that, JaVale. Let me tell you about that, JaVale. You have to, for you to run that type of defense, you have to have at least a very stocky defensive line. Like, the reason they were even able to run that type of defense because they had Jarrell Casey up front, along with big beefy guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That can rush. They can rush the passer and they can stop the run. The same thing with last year with the Chargers. The Chargers had Melvin Ingram, who's fast, and you got a guy like Joe Bosa, who's a beast. So yeah, we got guys on this defensive line that, you know, that can pretty much do both. You know what I'm saying? We can depend on them. All we gotta do is just make sure we cover all our holes. You know?
Yeah.
So not everybody can run that because not everybody got a good pass rush.
Yeah, and that's a great point about so you guys made great points. Tennessee got the personnel. Tennessee got the defensive front that was you know, they showed up that game as well. And another thing is they were playing with the lead. It's a little different. Like, you could get away with playing with a bunch of DBs when you're out front because, and we gotta admit too, the way the flow of the game was going and with Ingram being out, you understood that Baltimore basically went away from them running the throw. So that having extra DBs definitely helped because they like to be tight end heavy. So the perfect storm took place almost similar to when, and we're about to talk about this game, the Titans and Kansas City, when that game started. The perfect storm took off. Special teams got into play, short field got into play. But the only thing with KC is they play up tempo and they take shots. So getting up on them, you know, when people were saying, Tennessee about to, you know, the Texans about to run away from KC. And I was like, yo, dude, that's the worst thing that could have happened that game. You get a 24-0 early versus Kansas City. Because anybody that's coached or anybody that's played, especially if you play defense or offense, when you get big leads like that, you're accustomed, or even if you play Madden, you're accustomed to go away from what you normally do to try to use the clock to your advantage. And sometimes you kind of hurt yourself and you defeat yourself because you feel like, I got this lead, I have to sit on it a little bit. And KC came out,
I got a question,
guns blazing like they always do.
So, if you were the Texans owner, would you fire O'Brien?
Well,
that's just about to ask. Why does he still have this job? Why? Like, I swear, since Deshaun Watson got there, he has been saving his man's job.
You know, I think there you go.
He has for the fact that they can keep making it to the playoffs. Otherwise, he would have been gone a long time ago.
Darren, you just answered it because he consistently getting to the playoffs. And a lot of owners are not going. A lot of owners aren't going to come off of that because it's like, okay, we got a shot. All we want to do is get to the second season. We got a shot. And until he consistently missed the playoffs, that's why Marvin Lewis kept his job so much in Cincinnati, bro. If you want to keep his stat. And that's why everybody was surprised when Chicago let Lovie Smith go.
I mean, you gotta understand something. It's the pro level, and we're not looking at a Dallas Cowboys. We're not looking at a big city market team where the expectations of playoffs is mandatory every single year. It's either playoffs and win in Super Bowl or failure. The Houston Texans is still a secondary market city team in the NFL behind the Dallas Cowboys. So them getting to the playoffs every year is a bonus for that owner and for that franchise and for that organization. So that's why Bill O'Brien and job security is just, you know, it's not going anywhere. You know, it's for the time being right now until they really put together in free agency, in draft, in talent, and everything evaluated from across the board and is so high that they have to win or get to the AFC Championship game. He's gonna be fine, bro.
Hey,
He'll be fine.
so I got a question.
And my thing isn't he playing the like the GM role as well? Like traded away like
he is
a lot of picks over the next 2
Yeah,
years.
he let your boy go to Seattle. He did that.
Yeah.
I bet he missed him this time.
So I got a question for y'all. I got a question for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so how they lost, right? Is they putting them up there with how the Ravens, the number 1 team, lost to the 6th seed. That hadn't happened in like, I don't know, a bunch of years. So with Houston building a 24-0 lead and then 28 straight points scored on, and then they end up getting beat by Dubs. Then I seen the narrative today. Just like a 3-compound question that I'm gonna just let y'all talk, answer and discuss. So with that being said, do we really say that the Texans just dropped the damn ball, or do we piggyback off what the Shannon Sharps and them discussed today about Patrick Mahomes being so special, and do we just say they lost to a generational talent, and you really can't fault them for dropping the ball? Like, because I'm using both of these narratives against each other. Which one will win? Go.
I think it's a mixture of both.
Okay.
So the fact that they had a chance to stamp out Kansas City, if they probably would have, instead of just doing that fake punt, instead of just going ahead and going for it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? With your actual offense, believing in your offense, if they probably would have scored one more time, that probably would have put them out the game. You know what I'm saying? But when you come up like for a team like Kansas City, you know what I'm saying? You can't just sit there and just be like, okay, well, we're up, we're good. But I feel like if you come up 4 touchdowns on the boys, it actually puts in their mind like, yo, like, even if we score, they're going to keep scoring. But when they went and did that dumb stuff that he went ahead and did, I think it gave them life, especially on a short field. And then that's when you start seeing the momentum just totally shift. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they won't go keep passes all game, bro. I'm just saying.
So you said it's a little bit of
you got really good receivers over in Kansas City.
All right. So
I honestly believe, me personally, I honestly believe that, to be honest with you, it goes back to what we were just talking about a few minutes ago about Bill O'Brien. I honestly believe that the guy, he has a hard time always being able to see, Bill O'Brien is one of them guys. He comes into the game with a preset game plan every single game, and he sticks to that. And because Deshaun Watson has shown so many intangibles to be able to will his team back and win, it has saved him a lot of losses.
Okay.
But Bill O'Brien is not a guy I've never seen make halftime or quarterly adjustments, whether they're winning or losing, to maintain consistency. And that's why, even if you look at it a couple of games before the end of the season, remember the Houston Texans got blowed out by the rookie or second-year court Drew Lock in the Denver Broncos, and everybody was like, what in the hell is going on? That right there is indicative of how he coaches, his style of play. Like, anybody in their right mind knows the Kansas City offense is so explosive. I don't think people understand that the Texans secondary is 29th or 30th ranked in the league. So there was no way in hell that Romeo Cornell knew they was gonna hold and maintain that lead the way they should have been. Me personally, Shannon Sharp, he loves Patrick Mahomes. He gloats about him all. Listen, I give Patrick Mahomes credit all day long, but it was horrible coaching on the Houston Texans, the way they prepared them guys and the way they let them as professional athletes get down and lose the momentum. Anybody knows you play the game of football, when you lose momentum, I don't care if you're down by 20 or down by 3 points, the game is over. Kansas City regained the momentum and they never looked back from that point on.
So let me ask you.
I agree with that thing. I think it was just great coaching on Andy Reid's part, for real.
Okay,
and, that comes from experience. He never, you know what I'm saying? He never panicked. You know, he stayed the course, and it just he knows his players. Obviously, he knows his offense, and they got firepower, man. I mean, and that's one thing about Kansas City. I mean, I thought the game was over 24-0 for real. I mean, I thought they would come back, but I mean, you think about it. I mean, 24 points in a football game, man. That's a huge deficit.
Not with that. Not going against that off. I would say that's the one team
that offense
that I wasn't worried about. You know what I'm saying? Like they,
right.
I guess here's my thing with this, and I'll let you get back to your point, JaVale. I think how the 24 points took place is why I wasn't really worried, because it was like drop passes on third down, like one from Kelsey and then next from I think what's the cat, number 11. Both of them was open, should have been first down. Then you got muff punt, so a short field type of it's brain farts, right? So it's like,
All
right. So it's one of them things to where if it was like how Tennessee was scoring against Baltimore, like driving, you know, methodically moving down the field, controlling the line of scrimmage, that's a little different. Like, damn, y'all down, y'all ain't looking good. But it was like miscues, and then they did what they supposed to take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I wasn't really worried about that they were down 24-0 because of how the scores were taking place. But you go ahead, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Hey, no, you good. Would you say that this Kansas City offense, to me, like, who do they most remind you of? Because I think of they don't have a Marshall Faulk, but their passing game reminds me a lot of what the Rams were doing with Kurt Warner and Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce. Like when you go into that game, you can think like they can score 45, 50 points easy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they make it look easy. You know, and I think that's what separates the good players from the great players to the generational players. Like the generational athletes just make everything look so effortless. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Mahomes makes it look like. He makes it look easy to me.
Yeah, and here's my question to a lot of folks who, you know, I'm trying to get more information so you can better choose. Was it more the generation title of Patrick Mahomes and that offense, or did Houston just nut up? Because I want to raise this question to piggyback off all that. Who did folks have coming into the game, and what did they see as far as transpiring, trying to foresee the game? Like, you got the Texans and the Chiefs. Who you got winning and why? And then, even with that score, did you stray away from what your pregame thoughts analysis was, or did you stick to them? Because a lot of folks that are saying that they nutted in the clutch might be some of the same folks who thought they was going to get blown out anyways. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. I mean, I went into the game thinking KC was going to win by 14-17. You know, but when they went down 24-0, I thought the Texans was going to win, man.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly. You know, I guess that's just the mindset that I had, you know, especially being a playoff game. But the one thing that Houston lacked more than anything, especially in offense, was a run game.
Okay.
Because they were up and down. It was like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If they had a run game that could, you know, definitely
and the Chiefs were without Juan Thornhill too.
Right. You know, if they had a run game, you know, whether it was Hyde or Johnson, if they had a back they could, you know, just feed the ball to and just milk the clock and keep it out of Mahomes' hands, it may have been different. But you know, they don't have that.
That's because they don't have no money.
Is Juan gonna be able to play Sunday, Hawk?
No, he tore his ACL. He's out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, me personally, what I believe, man, honestly, when you have a quarterback that's special like Pat Mahomes is, his arm strength and his confidence in his arm strength, whether he's throwing conventional or whether he's throwing unorthodox, he always gives you a chance to be able to be creative offensively with those weapons that they got. It's not so much about the weapons, because we do know Tyreek Hill, 4.2, Tariq Harmon, 4.3, Sammy Watkins, still probably can run 4.4, 4.5, Travis Kelce, the best pass receiving tight end in the game. And then you got them backs that can come out and they do a lot of swing passes, a lot of halfback options. You know, Andy Reid utilizes all the pieces in his offense. So me personally, I had the
DeMarcus Robinson. But okay.
Oh, and DeMarcus Robinson. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, me personally, I believe.
Go ahead.
Hey yo.
You know, I believe in all the I believe that the Chiefs was going to win the game, just simply because I really feel like if you watch the Texans, they just rely too much on Deshaun Watson to make stuff happen all the time when nothing is even there. You know, they want to use Will Fuller, but he's a decoy. Only thing Fuller is utilized for is just straight nine route streaks. And that's just to get the coverage, to get the safety to go back on so they can work underneath. If you take away that, you forcing DeAndre Hopkins to be a possession receiver, and then the Chiefs is thinking, okay, well, you can give him 15 targets this game. I mean, everything's going to be underneath. My team is going to score 7 points, and you're going to just win. You're just going to basically get in field position to kick field goals and maybe get touchdowns, but you're not going to outbeat us. I think when they beat Kansas City early in the season, Mahomes, I don't think he was he healthy then? Because I don't think he was.
No.
No. Yeah, so
he wasn't
that's another thing. That's another thing that there was a determining fact. Mahomes is healthy right now. That knee is healthy, and he's playing at a level right now that's remnants of last year, man. And it's dangerous. It really is. If
Derrick Henry can get 150, 175 yards, can that ball control offense be enough to keep Kansas City offense on the sideline?
Oh, of course it can. Of course it can. I was telling my mans about that today. I said what it's going to come down to is if Derrick Henry and they come into the game plan, Tannehill can still throw for less than 100 yards. They're going to have every single offensive possession. They're going to have to control the time of possession 6 to 8 minutes every single quarter to be able to neutralize that offense, keep them off the field, limited possessions, and they're going to have to play. Vrabel is going to have to come up with a scheme to really play fundamentally sound football, just like he did with Lamar Jackson, to be able to keep everything underneath and force Kansas City to drive the whole field on them as well. And there's going to be the battle of who can control the time of possession, and that run game can neutralize. But that's a perfect game plan at the way the Chiefs play at Arrowhead.
Another major key, though, they cannot turn the ball over either. That's going to be a big thing. That's going to be a big thing with you having Honeybacker back there. That is his main purpose, is try to ball hawk, cause turnovers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be a real big, huge thing.
Hey, the biggest thing about hold on. The biggest thing about the Titans, the piggyback on what Banks said, because yes, in a perfect world, you want to control the clock, run the ball, but you gotta finish with 7. You can't spend all that time and get 3, because it don't take that long for Casey. The most demoralizing thing is when you methodically move down the field and then your defense give up the butt in 2 and 3 plays. And then you methodically move down the field, and that one time you either punt or kick 3, and then your defense give up the butt, and now you down. Because now you got a decision to make. So just say Vrabel down 17-10. Do he feel like he got to throw now, or will he stay reliant on, the run game? Because that's the great thing about the Titans with this run is that they've controlled the scoring as far as they've been up front. They've been up. So they always had to put the pressure on the opposing team to kind of get out the box. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with Tom Brady, he ain't the same Tom Brady, and they knew that. And then his receiver dropping passes, guys couldn't get open, whatever you want to say. And then with Lamar, his receiver dropping passes, and they got them throwing the ball. Even though Lamar looked good to me in the pocket, but they control the narrative. What happens when they get faced with adversity? Because Tannehill hasn't had to really make a lot of plays. He had that one big throw late in the game on 3rd down. The kid from he went to Harvard, something, Ivy League school made the catch. And then off the turnover, he got the deep ball for the touchdown. You know what I'm saying? But they've been relied upon playing, if this was baseball, small ball in a sense. So what Terrence was saying is absolutely right. You got to milk the clock and be methodical and keep the offense off the field, but your ass can't finish with 3. You better finish with 7, because they gonna come hunt.
Just two questions. I agree with what you're saying, but do you feel that Tannehill has showed enough in the second half of this season that you can put the ball in his hand? I mean, he hasn't had to throw the first 2 games against the Patriots, and he didn't have to throw against Baltimore. But I mean,
black people still watch NFL.
Really efficient, when they put the ball in his hands over the last 10, 11 games. And when it comes to the receiver Brown, why was everybody so? Why was Metcalf graded so much higher than him coming out, because to me, I think he's better than Metcalf. If I was a GM, I was picking.
Which Brown?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, AJ Brown went first in the first round before Metcalf. So I think when you really look at, I think people were so intrigued with DK, physical body, his size, his speed, and the numbers were off the chart popping at the NFL Combine. When you look at a complete receiver, I think AJ Brown possesses way more intangibles than DK does, and he got better hands. Me personally, to piggyback off of your first question, at this stage of his career, with the game plan and the way that offensive coordinator is calling the plays, and he really understands and believes in Tannehill and the confidence that they have right now, I really do feel as though, yes, Tannehill will step up this weekend and make the throws that he needs to make to AJ Brown, Corey Davis, Tajay Sharp. I think he can do it because if you really look at it, KC secondary, other than Honey Badger, full of solid, but these boys got holes. And AJ Brown showed at the end of the season, he's a dog, bro. If you watch the way he run routes and how physical he is, man, they ain't had to use the kid. They using the kid on jet sweeps or creative ways to get the ball in his hand just to show his explosiveness. Like, they ain't even used him the last 2 playoff games in the arsenal as far as that passing game goes.
Right.
That's a fact. That's a
And
fact.
another thing, Jabel, what we were just talking about with Tannehill, was another thing that Tannehill got. Tannehill also has mobility too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He does.
That's another thing you got to worry about, because the pass rush that with Chris Jones and Terrell Suggs, you know what I'm saying, where that would be like a good thing to have, that's going to be something like, okay, we can't come in here sleeping on these guys because you got a quarterback that can move. And on the offensive side, they can't sleep on the Titans defense, because even though they got a Honey Badger on defense for Kansas City, they got a boy named Byard back there that's a ball hawk too.
Yeah, he's a beast.
So he can't come out there just playing around either, Oh, and Dory Jackson. They also got a Dory Jackson over there too, man.
Yeah, they do.
It's
bad.
It's funny you brought that up, man, because about Suggs, Chris Jones, and Frank Clark. If you really study, if you look at Kansas City defense, they're one of them defenses where they just want to tee off on you, because what happens is they get big leads or they get up on you, and all they want to do is tee off on you. If you can neutralize that D-line, punch them boys in their face, because Wagner and their linebacker core is small. And once you get to the second level, if you start punishing them at the second level, because KC got trash run defense. Once you start punishing them boys in the trenches up front and neutralize that pass rush they have, it's going to change the whole dynamic of the game on Sunday. Y'all watch what I tell you. I'm telling you.
So y'all got Tennessee. So I take it y'all got Tennessee winning.
Banks, yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Banks, you think Tennessee gonna win?
I honestly, man, I would like to see Tennessee win, but I just think honestly that the firepower that KC possess. I'm telling you from my personal opinion on what I think they should do going into a game plan and how I think they should execute. But I don't know, like Hawk said, if that's just going to be enough, because you got to play mistake-free football. And, dog, it's hard to go in Arrowhead and win. I don't think people understand it. It takes a team like the New England Patriots last year to go in there and do that. You don't go in the Arrowhead and win late in the season in them cold games like that. That's what they do up there.
Yeah.
And I just think that's
hold on, Banks. I gotta correct you. It takes a D4 to jump off sides. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
For you to come in and beat them. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have beat them.
Hey Darian, why you talking? So Bob Money on YouTube called you out, said, "Where's the Viking fan who said he was gonna beat my team? 49ers winning the whole thing. Tell him what happened to the Vikings. Laugh out loud." In other words, talk to me nice.
I'll take that.
Okay.
I'll take that.
He missed the first half of the show, so he didn't hear you, say, "Yo, I'm here. We took a L." So I ain't want to open the wound up, or you can put the bandage back on. He just wanted to make sure that you heard him. So
yeah, that's cool. It's cool. Jimmy G still trash, but
Lord,
that's not to hear no day. We don't see.
Hey, which running game is better, the Titans or the 49ers?
49ers. They got a plethora of backs.
49ers. That offensive line is crazy.
They got a plethora of backs. Now, because
when
Henry,
you have a front four,
Henry is just Henry's special.
Go ahead.
Henry just special. Like, let me tell y'all something, man. When they got stopped, when Baltimore got stopped on that 4th and 1, and they got the ball back, and they had Tennessee in the 3rd and 1, they hit the call, and the linebacker hit Henry behind, like right at the line of scrimmage, and he ran through his ass en route to over 60-yard run. Like, and then they got another pick, and any other time you take a shot, no, they gave it to Henry off tackle, and he took it like dude, he's like a grown ass man. A dude that run for damn near 4,000 yards in 1 year. Like, look, man, he's special, bro.
And he's so big that it doesn't look like he's moving fast. But what a college coach told me one time, if you want to judge a player's speed, see how many steps it takes him to clear 5 yards.
Yep. Or see who see who can't catch him too.
Yeah.
And here's another thing.
You know what I'm saying? What's that?
I was gonna tell you. What makes San Francisco offense, their rushing different, is not only because their offensive line is big and they're really good offensive line. Their running back, all their running backs are fast, bro. Like Breida.
They fast as hell, bro. Yes, Lord. And Coleman.
Who's the other dude?
Coleman.
Yeah. All the boys run like 4.43.
Fast
bro.
as
like,
hell. Just look at it. Hey, look, just look at them on Madden. Just go to Madden, put up their speed. Oh my God, dog. They fast as hell.
When you look at these Final Four teams, I know Mahomes is the reigning MVP.
Go ahead and say he the best quarterback, because I got somebody who's gonna say something to you. He the best quarterback left in the playoffs?
No. I still think Aaron Rodgers is. So that's my point. When it comes down to these Final
Hold on, DeBell. I'm about to get at you about Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, so starting to fight. Yes, yes.
I mean, Darian, I'm not speaking particularly on this specific year. I'm speaking as a whole, as a body of work. You're not going to tell me that Aaron Rodgers is not the best quarterback left in the playoffs right now.
Me personally, honestly, I had a debate about this today on Facebook.
I saw it.
I didn't have Aaron Rodgers.
I
didn't have Aaron Rodgers in my top 3, but this is my thing right here. Comes to Pat. I feel Pat Mahomes is the best, and I say this is because if you look at Aaron Rodgers, yes, body of work, yes, his body of work is better. But if you look at him right now, Aaron Rodgers, first and foremost, his QBR has dropped drastically the last 3 years. If you look at QBR, you can say it's a flawed measurement, whatever. You can say it's a good measurement, but it's judging a quarterback based upon what they're capable of doing every throw, every possession, every down, and how they're in the totality of what they're utilizing their skill set and everything as far as the game flow goes. If you look at Aaron Rodgers, prime example, Trey Flowers, I said this, I was ranting last night. He's one of the worst starting cornerbacks in the league. That's my team, the Seahawks. If you look at, he may have made 2 or 3 tight window throws last night that you could be like, okay, that's great throws. But majority of the offense of what he's using as far as his weapons, it was a one-man show with Devontae Adams and the throws he's making. Pat Mahomes is squeezing in balls and throwing down, for whether it's deep, short in the short game, he's making throws in the window and can utilize his mobility right now. That is at an elite level that you're not seeing too many quarterbacks make these plays right now left in the league right now. I think Aaron still possesses great qualities, but me personally, this is the reason why they had to establish Aaron Jones so significantly into the offense this past year, because they could see that there were certain things about his skill set that they had to have a run game this late in his career to be able for him to use in the passing game the way it needed to be at. I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, honestly, body of work, yes, Aaron got it, but Mahomes right now as far as throwing, using his arm, decision making, mobility. I don't know, man. I have to go with him right now. Left in the
They ain't a throw. They ain't a throw that Aaron Rodgers can't that what boy can't make, man.
Right. But my thing is when you Banks, I agree with I agree with everything you said, but I don't like to say but.
I ain't gonna let him off that easy.
If you look at the team, the way they're structured, you put Aaron Rodgers on Kansas City with those weapons, and Aaron Rodgers is the MVP last year, like Mahomes was, and putting up those same numbers this year. I mean, but look who Aaron Rodgers has. After Adams, who does he have? He doesn't have anybody. You know what I'm saying? And LaFleur came in this year and changed the entire offense around.
Hey, check this out.
He's not dropping back like he was.
And check this out, JaVale. I'm gonna help you out even more. Because yes, you know, in today's analytics, you look at QBR. If you just look at Aaron Rodgers' QBR when Devontae Adams is playing versus when he's not there, because don't nobody else know the other receivers. I just keep it a stack. We know Jimmy Graham is there as well. It's probably a drastic difference.
Marquise Scanlon and Geronimo Allison. The boys, they're not the best receivers, but they can. I've seen them run routes, whether it's deep digs, comebacks. They made possession catches.
Let's not do this. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, bro. Like let's not do this. You know what I'm saying? You let's keep it a stack. We're not taking it away from Patty Mahomes. I'm a chief. I'm not taking away from Patty Mahomes, but we got to understand because you made great points about yes, you got to establish a running game. Yes, you just can't have Aaron Rodgers dropping back, but we know why you really had to do it because all they really had trust-wise was Adams. Once Adams went down, the guys you listed displayed that they can be trusted. So once Adams came back, we saw Aaron Rodgers' game actually elevate because he had to start trusting the younger guys. The younger guys will respond. And that's why yesterday it was hard to get them off the field on third down because that's how the Seahawks did the Eagles. They beat the Eagles on third down where it was hard to cover Green Bay because of the guys you just said. Plus, Devontae was in his bag as well. So you make some great points, but I didn't want a Packer fan to just not be able to protect, to defend themselves because they had to implement that running game because of the weapons that they were missing overall on the outside until those guys came into their own. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to throw out there. But y'all continue. What's up, Rock? I see you just called in. What up?
But I feel like your boy was missing a lot of throws this year too, though. My bad.
No, you good. You breaking up, Rock? Rock.
I mean,
y'all go ahead, man. To his phone, he might, he live in Memphis, man. They shoot down all their satellite towers and stuff. Man. Y'all go ahead. You go ahead. It's bad out there in Memphis. Y'all go ahead. Somebody.
But me personally, the reason I give the upper hand to Mahomes is, and this is a slight edge, is because when Mahomes scrambles out the pocket, he gets deep outside the numbers. And think about this: when he scrambles out the pocket and he gets deep outside the numbers, like he's on the scramble to the edge of the sideline, he can flick it as far as throw it over the top, or he can throw precision throws that makes toe tap and touch catches on the edge of the sideline. Aaron could do this 4 or 5 years ago. The last 2 or 3 years, he has not been able to show the ability to do that, and that's why I say I give Mahomes the edge over Aaron. Now, granted, yes, Devontae was in his bag yesterday, but Hawk, you got to admit, first of all, our secondary was ranked 27th in the league, and our pass rush was one of the worst pass rushes, least sacks in the man had all day in the pocket back there to make the throws that he was making, bro. And Devontae is arguably the best route runner in the league, man. Come on, man. It was just a
Hey, fun fact about Devontae Adams. Fun fact about Devontae Adams that people don't know: the last 4 years, he has the most receiving touchdowns out of any receiver. Go ahead, Darian.
On that last play, why would you pull your best pass rusher
and drop him
and have him in coverage and drop him
and then delay blitz?
And then
He Clint blitz. He should have stayed there. Hey yo, he should have. You know what? Actuality, dog. He should have just stayed. Like, it's hindsight is 2020. I don't know what was called, but you think if he would have just kept dropping, because he checked to the left to see if anybody was coming, and Jimmy hadn't broke his way yet. But if he would have just peeked again, he could have damn near stole one too. It's like they hit the call, but then they didn't hit the call because he ended up clamp rushing. You know what I'm saying? But I feel what you're saying. I would have. Damn, man. Damn.
I'm like, bro, what?
Because he was getting home.
How much do you does the point differential matter to you? Because I was reading an article earlier where it was a guy, and I believe he was a sports writer in San Francisco, and he was speaking on the Packers, and they had the worst point differential of any team that made the playoffs, and apparently, they won a lot of games, by 6 points or less.
Yeah.
Getting by. And you don't have to sugarcoat it. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'll be right back. Do you put a lot of stock into that, or you just think every game is different, and that's just how things went, or is there some merit to that about winning barely, or just winning by a few points?
I actually think that helps you in the playoffs because you like it's like muscle memory. You get in tight games. You're used to winning tight games, so your play calling, the way you think, your situational football is going to be there. Like if you're so used to always blowing teams out, once you get in the dogfight, it's not just the players. Yeah, it's not just the players you got to think about. It's a situational football. Like as far as how much time you're going to run off the clock, or when are you going to get up in your 4-minute offense? Your timeouts? Are you going to? Did you use them too early? Now you don't have them anymore. Like it's so many things that come into play that can't really prepare you for the playoffs. But if you are in those close games, it plays a role in the playoffs because most of the time you're going to be in a close game. So I actually think that helps the Packers, but it makes for a great storyline as far as, all you got to do is do this and do that to them. But to me, I think that actually helps the Packers because they're going to remain steadfast, and the situation football is going to really help them because of all those games they've been in.
Among some miracle catches that helped them out too, because that catch by Allison was just,
you hating right now.
That was just crazy, man.
Excuse him. He's a Vikings fan. Let him have it.
That's
what
crazy.
They come up there's like I hate right here
Damn, Rock, you still breaking up, bro. You still remixing, man. You still breaking up, man. I don't know if your Wi-Fi going back to the data or if you're driving. You might be over. I think Rock's still over in Bermuda or something in the Bahamas with his money team. It's breaking up, bro. You still breaking up. What the heck? Hey, man, that Bentley ain't got no damn better reception than that, man. God damn, you should have got a Ferrari or something. Cut the damn.
That LaFleur, was that the LaFleur that was at UVA? Was that his brother?
Nah, they ain't did LaFleur at UVA. Not that I know.
I'm saying that's his brother who's coaching. That's his brother who's coaching the Packers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so JaVale, I wanted to put salt in the wound a little bit more to your Redskin lineage. Isn't it amazing how the two guys starting in the defensive backfield for the Kansas City Chiefs, Breland and Fuller?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Nah, I mean,
but y'all going up and up, man. Y'all got Robert Bear now. Y'all about to go upward, bro.
I mean, I don't know, man. I think Rivera's he was a good coach. I feel that the talent, especially on the defensive side of the ball with the Redskins, something has to change. I like Del Rio. I think I like Jack Del Rio as a hire more than I even do Rivera, actually.
You know who like that hire by who?
The thing is,
you know who like the Rivera hire, JaVale? You know who loves it?
Who?
Josh Norman.
Who?
Josh Norman.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he does love
he
it.
possibly come back, but he gonna have to restructure that. He ain't gonna get 14
Hey
million.
man, let my
next year.
dog get his bread, man. Stop,
But-
man. Let my dog get his bread.
Yeah. But I tell you what, if Rivera is, I mean, if he's running things like it looks like he is, I think Josh Norman gonna be there. I think Trent Williams is gonna come back.
He
now.
still got a lot left in the tank,
you
man.
know.
I still think Josh can rock with a high level, man. Come on, Josh. Make me look like a Nostradamus, man. You know, I believe.
But that's the thing with Josh. With Josh, he never been a man corner. When he was in Carolina, that was the zone. I mean, he's a great zone coverage. If you give him a third or you just give him an area, I think he good. But if he got with the smaller shifty receivers, you know, your Antonio Browns, your Tyreek Hill,
man,
he's not gonna win that. He's not gonna win that. Ain't nobody against Tyreek Hill.
Let's stop bringing up Antonio. Look,
he about to rehab.
Full disclaimer.
Anyway.
Full disclaimer right now. Full disclaimer. We can't talk about Antonio Brown no more on my platform because he just threw a bag of dicks at some police officers and talking real greasy. He dangerous. So I don't want to get in trouble for talking about Antonio because he is toxic right now. I love him. I told y'all months ago, I think he need to go see a therapist and get checked out for mental health. And y'all seen I ain't talked about it on my platform since. So what he did today, throwing them bags of dicks and cussing up a storm with his 2 kids, getting in the back of the police car with his baby mama. Salute to the babies. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, if y'all first time listen to this platform, I love Antonio Brown dearly. So I'm not dissing him. But I feel like me personally, I don't discuss him no more on this platform until he go get help. And I said I wasn't, and I have not. And today really disappointed me seeing what he did, bro. Like, I ride hard for Antonio, but doing that, nah, man. You playing with fire. He lucky he didn't get tased or something, man. Like, you can't do that.
Speaking of pettiness, it's gonna segue. Ain't it just sad to see how Jimmy Johnson got into the Hall of Fame before he was even getting the Cowboy Ring of Honor?
And he almost died.
Like, that is just,
he almost died on air, too.
That is the level of pettiness, bro.
Yo, he almost died on air. They were talking about, hey, Jimmy, what you got to say? He was emotionally choked up. He couldn't breathe. They like, talk, Jimmy. My man about to pass the hell out, have a heart attack. They ain't give him no water, ain't give him a seat. My man he sounded like the dude from Men in Black that was looking for the damn galaxy. You haven't seen the galaxy. I thought he was going to pass out, bro. Yeah. That was a priceless moment. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy for him, though.
Yeah. I hope another question I had, man. Does when it comes to men, like grown men making money as far as athletes and specifically here in the NFL, can you use that high school, college, rah type of coaching style to have men who are making more money than you follow you? And I say that to say this. I watch all of the new coaches press conferences so far, other than the Cleveland coach. I haven't saw that, but you know, I watched the Rivera, I watched the McCarthy, but this guy coming from Baylor with the Panthers, Slim, like he looked like he was like a youth football coach, talking to 7-8-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like the way he came off. You know what I'm saying? And like that, I understand that may work on the college platform, but will that transform into the NFL where it's grown men that you
I got where you
bringing that same type of
I got where you
atmosphere
going.
too? Yeah,
you gonna have to erase and update your bars. You know what I'm saying? It's like Cassidy coming back to battle rap. You got to update your bars. Like, so when he get in that locker room with grown men and he gonna try that rah-rah, I'm put to you just like this, JaVale. He like the rah-rah would work.
What are you talking about?
The coach from the coach that got hired from Baylor that got hired by Carolina, right? Yeah, going to Carolina. Got 60, 70 million.
Buell?
Yeah. Jewel.
Yeah.
No, Judge is going to Washington. Buell. Jewel. Yeah. So
Matt Rule.
Yeah. So Ja Rule. Yeah. Ja Rule. So I'm gonna tell you like this: at camp, at Camp JaVale, it can work in camp, and then it can work in the season if success follows, because they're going to buy into whatever the coach is preaching during camp. You're going to give them a chance. But if your ass start out and you like 2-6, Matter of fact, once you go under 500 for more than 3 weeks, they're going to question what the approach that you're saying, because
hey, I don't even think it's going to get that far.
Damn.
You're not talking to Cam or what's their middle linebacker?
Is he gonna keep Cam?
You're not talking to them like that.
Now you can talk to Kuechly. Kuechly will fall in line. Kuechly is a student. Like he'll be a leader that will fall in line with the wishes of the head coach. I don't think Kuechly's a guy that's going to challenge authority. I really don't. Like, he's a good dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's a bitch, but he's not just going to challenge it. He'll try to get guys to buy into what the coach is selling. You feel me? Now Cam.
Right.
I feel like Cam get a bad rap, but if you ain't successful and you trying to tell Cam to be patient, Cam make a lot of money. It's hard to tell a guy that make a lot of money, you need to do this now, because they're gonna feel like, yo, I've been successful doing it this way. It's hard to, with no type of cachet, because he coming from college, they're gonna look at him like, yo, fam, that ain't gonna work here. As soon as he try to get them to do something they have never done, somebody gonna say, fool, this ain't college, in the back of their mind.
Right.
We know that's gonna happen.
Hey, hold on. Would you rather have? And I'm thinking of Rivera, because when he came out, not in his press conference, but on one of the DC radio shows right after the press conference, right? They were talking to him about quarterbacks. He never mentioned Dwayne Haskins one time. He talked about Alex Smith. He talked about Colt McCoy. He talked about Case Keenum. He never mentioned Dwayne Haskins' name one time. He said it was going to be an open competition in camp. Would you take, when after the draft, when OTAs and mini camps come in, would you take Dwayne Haskins for the next 5 years? Next 5 years. Because if Ron Rivera is really in charge, I think he's gonna try to finagle Cam Newton into the Redskins, son.
But you know why he said that though?
You might be right.
I don't think that was like a shot to just, you know what I'm saying? I think that was more so a message to Haskins and for him to grow up. Because I think it's more so, Haskins is young. He's like 21. You know what I'm saying? And he did a lot of stuff this year that was considered very immature. So I think that was more so a direct shot at him. It won't try to say to just put him out.
Yeah.
But, you make it an open competition. You want him to be serious.
But damn, he didn't say his name though. Like, you can't say my name though, fam. Like, our relationship ain't that good for you to be challenging me. And I don't even know, unless he had a talk with him. I'm just keeping the stack. If we had a talk with him. Look, yeah, I hope so. But let's play this game because it's better. Just to say he never talked to his ass and he ain't even bring his name up. I'd be at home like, this mother effer. No, he didn't. Do he know who I am? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
These young boys egotistical. Like, he a first round pick. Was he a first round, right? Yeah.
But he a player's coach though.
Yeah,
a player's coach. I don't see him just doing that. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, we heard, ever since they put Cam on IR, that's been the hot topic. Like, Carolina may move on from Cam. They may release him. They save $19, $20 million in the cap.
So you think the Redskins, like, what type of assets do you feel like the Redskins just say? Because Cam is he a restricted free? Like, he just got an optional year, a team option, like, his last year of his deal. I don't know his contract.
This is last year. This is last year of his contract.
Okay, cool.
This is last year.
So Carolina be willing to move on from him because they can unload that money. What can the Redskins give Carolina to get Killer Cam is the question.
Well, I mean, if you just want to move on,
you want some
like
assets.
I say, if they want to, I don't know if they're going to trade him. I'm saying if they were to release him, you know what I'm saying?
Most definitely, he'll go get him.
They could do. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If Carolina releases him, he's gonna be on the Redskins next year, son.
Hey, Alex Smith, how much? I gotta look up how much his dead money is. I gotta look up Alex Smith.
Cam is not. Cam Cam is 19. Alex Smith is 21.
No,
so
no,
$2 million apart.
Oh, you already know. What? Damn. What? There it is then. If you wouldn't
forget all that Redskins smoke. Forget all that Redskins smoke. I want to talk about this LSU Clemson.
Oh yeah.
Clemson somehow win the LSU. We're gonna have to move Clemson to the SEC.
Hey man, stop it. It's just the ACC just
y'all
like
don't
that.
deserve them at all.
ACC just like that, fam.
They just over there just beating y'all down, just playing with y'all. This is the only time they really get to play somebody. So I just want to say, you know what I'm saying? We gonna see how this smoke gonna go. I kind of want to know what your breakdown's gonna be for tonight's game.
Clemson better win because I ain't trying to see I ain't trying to hear nothing from the SEC yet again. You know, it's so happy just y'all not being able to say nothing. Okay, that's the first off. All right. Okay, so we just gonna get that out there. We won in basketball. We won in football. I don't know who won in baseball because I wasn't paying attention once my Wahoos got ousted. But this is going to be a tough-ass game for Clemson for the simple fact is Stingley Jr. is a monster. And one of the receivers getting taken out of the game as soon as the coin toss gets flipped. And then, Darian, yes, you were probably – hold on. Darian, I'm going to say this on air. Darian, you were correct. LSU receivers – core end up being better this year. We jumped the gun with Bama.
I told you.
Okay, they special. So I'm saying it on air. I was wrong. Bama.
Hey, Hawk, isn't that corner only a freshman?
He's only a true freshman. He's only 18 years old or 19. Yeah. He was first team All-American. So Higgins is nice. Ross, all them dudes is legit. They tall as all outdoors too. Like they every bit of 6'3", 6'4". When I seen them in person, I was like, ain't no damn way. And long arms, triple XL hands. But Stingley is a dog. And then LSU secondary is gonna be the best secondary in the scene this year, hands down, without question.
Yeah.
But the thing about Clemson secondary is they not that good. I said it. They're not that good. Yeah. Clemson secondary not that good.
Oh no, they don't have secondary that they've been having. They don't have them heavy hitters they've been having most of these past 2-3 years.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Your boy Dabo, man, he just know how to cook it up. I don't know about with Sunshine too, bro. We already saw something else from Sunshine. We didn't know he was fast.
Oh, I do.
Even though he tried to tell everybody
you ain't
he was
know that?
Fast.
Oh, that boy can run.
We didn't know he was fast.
Oh,
I didn't know he was pulling away from folks.
Let's keep it a stack.
I think y'all really make this slow dude.
No, Darian, he's fast. You know, on this show, we won't pull no punches, Darian, and I'm going to put it out there for all the folks who get offended. They thought he wasn't fast because he was white with long flowing hair. And it's the reason why I call him Sunshine, because the Sunshine and Room and the Titans could run as well. You know what I'm saying? I won't just call him Sunshine because his hair was flowing. That boy legit, dog. He legit, fam. He ain't lost a game since middle school.
Yeah.
He make every throw, and he tough as hell. So, so who y'all got? Because we got that much time.
Darian, your point about the SEC and the ACC. I mean, that's been accurate. I would say for the past, I don't know, 8-9 years. You know what I'm saying? But the ACC as a whole has just been down with our I would say blue blood football programs, because your SEC, you got the Alabama, your Georgia, your LSU. You know what I'm saying? That they're really and your Florida boys every few years. You know what I'm saying? But the ACC just as a whole has been down. I mean, Clemson has been on top of the mountain for the past 7-8 years. But look at everybody who has regressed. For whatever reason, your Virginia Tech, your Florida State, your Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like so if I mean,
don't say Florida State around the Florida
State, Miami.
Don't say Florida State around the Florida.
I don't know Miami is these days.
Right, but I'm saying they took a step back. You know what I'm saying? But you look at the early '90s, mid '90s. Miami, Florida State, Virginia Tech. That's they top 10 teams. Every year.
Well, Miami won't hear yet. Miami won't hear the ACC yet.
Miami was cheating though.
Miami's in the bid.
That don't really count. Because Miami was paying their folks to stay in the city. Come on, fam. Look, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna come to the South because it's hot.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? It don't get as cold.
Man, shut up.
You know.
Anyway, so who y'all got winning, man? Because we got like 4 minutes left on the show. Who y'all got winning and why? You just can't say because they SEC or ACC. I want y'all to, you know.
I have a feeling, believe it or not, I have a feeling that old boy Burrow is probably going to show the real Joe Burrow. He's going to have a bad game, and they're going to let Clemson hang around. And when you let Clemson hang around, things can happen. So I'm just going to say I think LSU wins, but I don't think LSU is going to win as a big margin as everybody thinks that it's about to happen.
Okay.
I just don't think that.
All right. I respect that. Who you got, JaVale?
I like Clemson. I mean, not just because it's the ACC squad, but I just feel, they've been here before. They battle tested. You know what I'm saying? They've been in this situation. They've been in the playoffs, 3-4 straight years?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think that's gonna have a lot, a lot to do with it. But LSU, their offense is nice. I don't think Clemson. We know Clemson hasn't seen an offense or defense as good as LSU this year. But you look at everybody who LSU has played. Is anybody this year in the SEC that they played? Is anybody better than Clemson? Have they played a team as good as Clemson this year?
Defensively, yes. Defensively, yes. I was gonna say between playing us, Auburn, Alabama, I say Georgia. Defensively, I feel like defensively they're better than Clemson. What Clemson's calling card has been this year has been the offense. Their defense isn't as good as it has been in the past.
I agree. I don't think Clemson's defensive backfield is that good. The safety, I like the safety from Highland Springs, though.
They're gonna have to win if they go win, it's gonna be by a shootout or a turnover.
This LSU squad this year, and I'm speaking on the defense side of the ball. Is this LSU squad, is their defense better than the last 2 years that Alabama's had? Because Sunshine,
no.
I mean, he had his weight. Right, that's what I'm saying. So Clemson gonna be like you said, you said a shootout, right? So I'm thinking whoever get to what? What are you thinking? 40, 45?
Damn.
But that's hard to say though. Because man, listen, they like he said, like the DBs is a little bit different this year. I mean, they may not be as tight up front as they have been in the past, or had the linebackers they had the past, but they definitely got the DBs for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be strength against strength this whole game. That's why I said what I said. It might go closer than what people think, but I don't know about that high though.
Clemson been here. That's the only thing. But what I know, and from what I saw with my Cavaliers, the Hawks Cavaliers, when we played Clemson in the ACC championship game, we had the most passing yards that they gave up all year, and our offense ain't nowhere near LSU offense.
JaVale, don't make me do this.
Well, I'm just saying. If UVA's offense could garner more passing yards and receiving yards than any other team against Clemson, what do you think LSU gonna do to their defense? I'm not speaking of the offense, because the young bull in the backfield of Clemson is something special. He real nice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
that's if he plays the whole game. He's still hurt. You know what I'm saying? He I don't think he's gonna be 100%. So I mean, we'll see today, but I don't see. I feel like it's gonna be a closer game than people think, man. But I'll take LSU by a touchdown.
So here's my thing, because we got about 60 seconds. I think I just talked myself out of picking Clemson by realizing that Clemson secondary is some trash can juice compared to what LSU has. I mean, god damn, man. I just realized, I don't know what the hell I've been thinking about the past 2 weeks, but damn, LSU about to walk the dog with that secondary, man. They got too many goddamn weapons, bro. Shucks. I hope Clemson line, but then LSU got the best line in college football also. Yeah, I can't. Look. I'm riding with Clemson because they ACC, but they ain't gonna win. They ain't gonna win.
Hey, and I'm not trying to be funny. This is an honest to God serious question, man.
Yeah.
Why is everybody? I'm not saying everybody.
No,
but there's a lot of people in the media, man.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people in the media and on the internet. Everybody is all on this Joe Burrow kid, Slim. And I mean, he had a great year. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why everybody is like. Because to me, if I'm the Bengals at number one, I'm taking Young. But I guess the quarterback. You need a quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But to me, this guy, he had a great year.
Yeah.
And I look at it as from a Redskin fan. This kid couldn't beat out Dwayne Haskins at Ohio State. That's the reason he transferred to LSU. And then we see what Haskins did, and it took him 3/4 of the year to play.
Yeah.
So everybody is just assuming that, Burrow put up these numbers, it's just automatically going to translate. And honestly, before the beginning of the season, I didn't even know who Joe Burrow fucking was.
So JaVale, I'm gonna answer your question.
He was trash.
I'm gonna answer your question.
He played a couple. He played a couple games last year.
Hold on.
But I'm talking about the hype that he got.
So let me answer your question, JaVale. I'm gonna answer your question, because as much as we talk on this show, and out of you, I know once I say what I'm going to say, you're gonna be like, damn, that's right. JaVale.
Okay.
If we were playing fantasy football, he would be the hottest commodity, right? Because his numbers and touchdowns.
Right.
That's why. Because he got his team winning.
One more thing.
Hold on, his team winning, and then like his touchdown to interception ratio is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's so easy to build the train and the momentum and the narrative for him. It's hard to argue against. Like, we're being in a minority. Like, I'm not a firm believer of him either, because he's older than Lamar Jackson. Like, he's old.
He's like 24, 25 already.
He's old, but
he's been in school 5 years.
Yeah. So the thing with that is, JaVale, and a lot of times, like I'm used to being in a minority, so I can formulate a debate to debate you down if you love Joe Burrow. But a lot of times the conglomerates don't want to go against the big stories because it ain't the cool thing. Like, he's a great story. You feel what I'm saying? He's an older guy. He, like you said, he got beat out by Haskins. Nobody believed in him. They came to LSU 2 straight years. Now look at him this year. Now he's the new Tom Brady because he's the guy that nobody thought would be good. But you said the key word. He go to the Bengals. That story gonna end. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You feel me?
It's gonna be a wrap.
They set him up.
You know what else is easy? JaVale, I'll make it even more simple for you. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Or let's go even better. Mr. Trubisky, Deshaun Watson, and
praise the Lord. Or Pat Mahomes. Praise the Lord. So here's the thing.
Tua.
Yes. Here's the thing, yo. Here's the thing. You want to be the guy that they sleep on. Because what happens when you're slept on? Where do you go, guys? By him saying all those names, the dudes who went later went to better squads, better situations.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be that first guy picked, man. Who? I don't want the hype. As much as I was mad about Trubisky going before for Deshaun, I'm kind of happy it worked out like that. Even though I would love for Deshaun to work with Matt Nagy, who I know from the Arena League, I would love that combo to work together. But
yeah,
I love that Lamar fell to Baltimore.
I think I asked you that year. I think I asked you that year about Trubisky. I was like, yo, I don't watch the ACC, but who is this Trubisky?
Remember, I told you, I ain't believe him.
He's not that good.
Yeah. I didn't believe him.
Like you said about Daniel Jones. He's not that good.
He ain't that good, man. And look.
But Daniel Jones did better than I expected this year, though.
Yeah, facts.
I ain't even going front on that.
Facts.
He played much better than I expected him to.
And I just want people to know, anytime I say I don't believe in a guy, I'm not hating that the kid won't be successful. I always want somebody like Jared Goff served me shut the hell up, juice, and I owned up. I want the guys to prove me wrong, but I just don't believe the hype. So when I say he ain't that deal, I'm just saying according to the hype. He's that deal to be an NFL quarterback.
Production.
Yeah, like he can play in the league.
Production too.
Yeah, he could be in the league or whatever. But I always want folks to realize, like, I'm not coming from a hate. I'm just talking about according to the narrative, he ain't that deal. So anybody,
right?
If this is the first time listening, go ahead, because we really got like 60 seconds because it's dinner time in the household. Yeah, y'all gonna get in trouble. Go ahead.
Got you.
Last thought.
My last question. When it comes to young man, I heard Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson, the defensive line coach for Ohio State.
Yeah.
Larry Johnson, the running back's father.
Oh yeah.
He said that. Yeah, he's the defensive line coach.
Whoa. The dude Bob Money said Lamar Jackson is a fraud. You can't be a Jimmy G fan and then call Lamar Jackson a fraud. I ain't mean to get sidetracked, but
exactly.
But go ahead.
So when I saw him a couple weeks ago, he said that coming out of Ohio State, that his kid is better than both of the Bosa brothers, and that's saying a lot, right?
Yeah, them Bosa brothers done worked out.
So with the Skins being there, saying that. Say that Burrow goes one. Do you trade back 2 or 3 spots and take, say, a Judy or it looks like Trent Williams is possibly coming back. So you take Judy or the whatever wide receiver you have rated higher, or do you trade back for 2 or 3 picks? Trade Young or that number 2 pick and trade back and get 2 or 3 more picks.
I wouldn't worry about Chase Young because I've seen Chase Young get locked up by that tackle for Clemson. When it mattered, you know what I'm saying? Like you say, competition ain't about who you fight, it's who you fought.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And you can do that with all those Rudy Poo teams that you're playing.
The Rudy Poo
when you playing with somebody with some real talent, I mean, what you gonna do? I seen what your boy from Chicago did when he was in Buffalo. Almost beat Ohio State by himself. Khalil Mack. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't see that type of talent from Chase Young just yet. You know what I'm saying? He may have it in him. He may have the keys. He don't know how to unlock the door yet. So, I mean, that's just from my sense. So if you were smart, the Redskins fan, you would probably take Judy. Judy is going to be a beast at the next level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you don't take Judy at 2. You trade back to 4 or 5 and get him and get some more assets.
Is he going to be there though?
I
think he's sleeping. I think you need to watch some tape on Judy, my G.
Nah, he's good, but I mean, this wide receiver class is deep though, bro. It's gonna be 10, 12 wide receivers probably taken in the first 40 picks.
All right, fellas, we're gonna on that note.
Talking about the Redskins again.
Yeah, see, you see how he did that? We ended with the damn Redskins. That's some petty stuff right there.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we're gonna end today's show. Everybody enjoyed the national championship today. Hopefully, Clemson shut me up and they secondary show up because that LSU. God damn, man, I'm depressing now. All right, man, y'all be easy, bro.
Hey, Hawk, definitely on your next show, man. Definitely on your next show, you got to talk about that soft-ass Kevin Durant, guys.
Damn, we almost we ran out of time, but we're gonna do a special on that. On just talking about them two. All right, fam.
All right, fellas, y'all have a good night, man.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
And that's today's show, man. Appreciate everybody that's on YouTube right now and that's tuning in. Bob Money, you's a funny dude, dog, and disrespectful. Shout out to everybody that was on Periscope. Shout out to everybody that's on Facebook that chimed in. But it's time to go. Yeah, y'all hour and 30 minutes. I'm gonna just put this full joint up on Anchor and iTunes and BlogTalk and Podcaster, all those. So You getting a full straight 130 today. I'm not chopping up nothing in this segment. So it's like the Joe Budden podcast. Salute to them guys, man. All right, man. BallHawk, we up out of here. Peace. All right, y'all. Y'all be easy, man. It was definitely a fun show today. Until next time, we out. Bob Money, you's a funny dude, yo.